Hello class. This week we're going to be doing the last week of geometry and we're looking at 3D shapes. And usually 3D shapes is not too difficult. And you have to start thinking about 3D shapes around you and buildings and things that people use in their houses. So this app, if you go in the App Store, it's called Shapes, and I don't remember if I paid for it. I think I did, but I bought it years ago. And it's gotten better and better throughout the years. And you can check it out yourself. For the assignment, I found a website that's pretty good, but this one's very visual. So basically, this app separates 3D shapes into different classes. So first we have pyramids. So pyramids have one vertex at the top, right? And they all join up at that one vertex. There's prisms. Okay, so prisms, unlike pyramids, they don't meet up at one point at the top. They have the same shape at the top and bottom. Okay, and we'll talk about that. And then, this says solids of revolution, and basically these are shapes with rounded sides, right, or faces. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at pyramids. And when you click on pyramids, there's all sorts of pyramids. Now along the bottom there's bases, right? So I could say here's a squared base pyramid, right? Here's a triangular based pyramid, right? Here's the hexagonal pyramid, right? There's a hexagon at the bottom, right? Pretty cool. This is something you don't really see very often, the parallelogram pyramid, because look at that, there's a parallelogram at the bottom. And, so it keeps going. There's the pentagonal pyramid. Good luck saying that. There we go. And keep going, the rectangular pyramid, right? So it's all rectangular based, and it's a pyramid because it has one vertex at the top. I want to look at one of them. So let's just try the traditional squared base pyramid, right? So here's our squared base pyramid, and we can make a net. So there it, oh, okay, let me go a little bit slower. Like you could actually see, it used to go pretty slow. So yeah, there we go. So see how it goes slowly, and you can see how the shape sort of comes together, right? And it has a square base, right? Now, there's different ways, there's different nets that can be made. So this one here, this is also a square base triangular, a square base pyramid, but the net is different. But it doesn't matter because it still forms a square base pyramid. So the nets can always look different. You could see here that they're trying to show you that there's a variety of nets. So I can use this one right here. And this one, you could see how it unfolds, right? And it makes there it is, a square base pyramid, and we can bring it together again. And there it is, like that. Now, the other thing that we can do is we can look at different things. So we can look at faces. Okay. So the faces, now it goes kind of transparent, so you can see through it. And it's trying to show you that there are 5 faces, right? And if you make the net, so here's the net back again, right? I like maybe the one that's easier for everybody to see is this one, the one we first had, right? There we go. So if you look at the net, it's easier to tell the faces. So this net here has 5 faces, right? Or I'm sorry, this 3D shape, the square base pyramid, has 5 faces. And we can do other things. So the other one is edges, right? Now on this app, it sort of gives you the answer. So there's 8 edges, right? And if you look at the net again, so there's 4 along the bottom. You can count them, right? Don't think my pencil will work. Nope, there's 4 along the bottom, and then there's 4 on the top. Now if you bring it together, you'll see, right? So here are my 4 edges here along the bottom, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 edges. So then there's 8 edges total. We can get rid of edges. We can look at vertices. So those are points. So there's 4 vertices on the bottom, and they all join up at 1 at the top. Pretty cool, eh? Now I can go back and we can look at other Okay, so here are other pyramids, right? But they all join up at the top, right? So then we can look at nets. There we go. You see, they all join up at the top. Kind of makes a star. Pretty cool, right? And then it's a hexagon, has 6 sides at the base, hexagonal pyramid, right? You can create a net. So there we go. There's a hexagon, and it's telling me to drag. Let's see if I can do this right. Oh, I could turn it. Boom, connected. There's 2 faces. There's 3 faces. Turn it. There's 4 faces. Turn it. Oops. There's 5 faces. I'm sorry, that's 6 faces, and then here's the final one. There, so I just made the net myself, right? And then, you know, we can look at, oh, no. Okay, so then we can look at edges again, right? So if a hexagon has 6 sides, so we know that there's 6 edges along the bottom, and then we know we have to be careful when we count that we don't go twice. So there's 6 edges along the bottom, then there's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now the answer is at the bottom, so I was cheating a bit. We can get rid of the edges, we can look at the vertices. So we know that there's 6 vertices along the bottom, and they all join up at 1 vertice at the top. Okay, now let's look at prisms. Here's prisms. Now these are all different types of prisms. So this is like a rectangular, well, they say quadrangular prism. Good luck saying that. There's a triangular prism with a right angle base, right? Isosceles triangular base prism, right? There's the standard cube, right? Isosceles trapezoidal prism, right? So all of these basically are different shapes along the bottom. And you could see that along the bottom, the little circle is like the one goes up. That's the one we're looking at, right? Here's the isosceles triangular prism. Pretty cool. Let's try this one here. Okay, I'm gonna change the color because that's really dreary. Let's go look at that. We'll go green. Boom, boom. Oh, I just changed one face. Sorry, I'm just having fun here. And there we go. Okay, and then so now I like my green 3D shape. Oh, I like my green 3D shape provided I did all the sides. There we go. Okay, so the first thing we'll do, now it gives you answers that there's 5 faces. So if I unfold my prism, right, you can actually see the 5 faces, right, and count them yourself. Is there another net that goes with it? I'm going to change the net. Oh, there's tons of them. Which one do I like? I guess the one we had is the simplest. This one here. But you know what? Maybe you want to see something else. I aim to please. So how about this one? Okay, so you can bring it together. Kaboom. Right? So you can see that there's a triangular prism. There's the right angle triangle. And a prism means that it's at the top and at the bottom. So there's the triangular prism with a right angle triangle base. So there's a right angle there, and there's a right angle on the other side. Very cool, right? How many edges do you think? Maybe we could try doing these things without looking at the answers. So I'm gonna change the color to blue. Okay, so, and there's a reason why. Okay, now, how many edges do you see? So I see there's 3 edges here. 1, 2, 3. There's 4, 5, 6. And then there's 7, 8, 9. I see 9 edges. If I'm wrong, maybe I'm embarrassing myself, but oh well. Then I can go over here and I can see, oh, look at that, there's 9 edges, and then they're highlighted. Maybe a little bit hard to see. If I change it to maybe that yellow that we had before, you can see it better. Right, so there's 3 faces there, 4 and 5 faces. Okay, we can get rid of the edges, but before I do that, you can think how many vertices or points. So there's 2 over here. There's 2 over here, so there's 4. There's 6. I see 6 vertices. Okay, and I can maybe get rid of the edges, and I can put in the vertices, and then there they are. And there's 6 of them. So I'm not embarrassing myself yet. So there's the right angle base prism. So a prism has the same shape at, we would say, the bottom and the top. So there's a right angle triangle here. There's a right angle triangle at the bottom. Okay, let's try some other cool ones. So I mean, there's all these prisms here. I could probably make another video just doing this, right? So the right hexagonal prism. Okay, so it has a hexagon at the bottom. We can make the net, right? The net helps you count faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 faces, right? It joins up together. Let's see, well, partially. See, I can slow it down. There we go. And it has a hexagon at the base and a hexagon at the top, right? We can do edges. Okay, now I'm going to speed up the video, so I'm not going to count them with you. So, because this one has a lot. Oops, there's 18 edges, it says, and it highlights them for us. And get rid of that. We could do vertices. So there's 6 at the top, right? 6 at the bottom, right? 6 vertices. Now, the last one we'll do, we're going to come back. We did pyramids. We did prisms. Rounded faces, right? We'll do cone first. Oh, look at all different type of cones. Oh, there's only one type of cone, sorry. There we go. So there's the net. The net is the flat 3D shape, right? How many nets are there? Oh, only the one. You can only do it one way. There we go, right? So now it's folded up. How many edges? None, right? Because it's all rounded shapes, so they're not really edges. I would say there's one vertex at the top, right? Now, kind of the neat one, and this is basically impossible to do in class, is here's the sphere. So the sphere is like a ball, right? People always wonder, how does the net look for a sphere? And this, you can't do this with your hands and cutting out paper, because it is virtually impossible, right? It has to be so accurate. So if I unfold it, right, there's the net for a sphere, right? Very, very difficult to cut and paste and make your own. And then I can see how it rolls up like that. And wow, how cool is that, eh? And then boom, there's the sphere. Okay, so that's our lesson on 3D shapes. I recommend this app. I honestly don't know the price, but you can check it out and buy it. But I did find an online software for 3D shapes. It's not as interactive as this one, but it really is pretty good too. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I'm going to stop recording this lesson, and I'll probably keep playing with this app. Okay, so talk soon, and have a good time working with 3D shapes. And there's other apps too that you can build. They let you build with the 3D shapes. This program actually doesn't let you do that, but I did notice it has AR mode, augmented reality. So I'm wondering if I can project this. Maybe give it a try here.